Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 18th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update and we should be good to go. Let's get there. More things here. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, perfect. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks like we are good to go. I've got a few moments for people to make their way in and we get started shortly. All right, so I'll start off by marking up liquidity over here. Let's go to the clean chart. All right, looks like we're good to go. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Good morning. Go over to the weekly or start on the daily. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm just going to mark up liquidity the old way. I think marking up by the higher highs and lower lows just takes a lot longer. It's not really necessary since I don't really trade liquidity by itself. So I'll be marking up liquidity the older way here. So we'll go down to, we'll start on the daily. And then once we go down to the 1 hour, I'll just mark it a different color. So I don't think it makes a huge difference. It does make a little difference if you guys want to go and make some adjustments to it, but I don't think it really makes a huge difference, in my opinion. It was just like during that time, market was ranging a lot. There was a lot of fake outs. So it seemed like the higher highs and lower lows made a huge difference, but I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. So I'm just going to mark these up the older way. I'm going to color them blue up until the 1 hour. And then from the 1 hour lower, I'm going to mark them in red because they'll be considered lower level liquidity. So yeah, if you guys want to make that, if you want to change them higher highs and lower lows, you guys are more than welcome to do that. It's just, it's kind of counterproductive for us because we don't really use the liquidity very much since I don't trade it by itself. But I mean, if you guys want to, it's fine. I do think it helps to some extent, but I don't think it's like a game changer for liquidity here because you'll see liquidity that gets hit all the time, and it doesn't really matter what time frame it's on. It still works the same way. Yeah, because usually these liquidities don't even like the only liquidities that get hit are like the 10-minute, so it's kind of irrelevant. Market like the higher time frames, super far down, different colors, because price never gets to that point for the session. So it's good right there. And I think we are good to go. All right, going back down to the 1 minute over here. So closest level of liquidity right here is going to be down below at 34,039. So this is going to be the first level of liquidity down below here. And the level above is going to be at 34,147. Right up there. So there goes liquidity right there. Two's here so far. Morning, CJ. Morning, Shannon. Morning, Maria. Morning, Randy. Morning, everybody. Good morning, guys. Today is Wednesday, October 18th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. We've marked up liquidity over here. You guys can see the closest level of liquidity is going to be up here at 34,147. Lower level is going to be at 34,039. Looking over here on our main chart, we currently have a sell signal. So if we're looking for the breakout V2, if we get 2 red candles after open, that's going to be the breakout V2. Once we get another momentum signal, we'll be looking for the opposite. We'll also be looking for some intraday scalps. But again, the official entries that we're looking for are going to be the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. We'll probably continue testing these strategies up until the end of October. And then from there, we'll make a decision whether we want to continue applying, the high-low scalp, or sorry, the momentum counter scalp, breakout V2, and the intraday scalp on open. Because it's kind of pointless for us to continue testing these. We've already done a 3-month test almost, August, September, October. So we'll probably continue testing this up until the end of October, and then we'll determine which ones we decide to use. The breakout V2 seems like probably the best option here, because it does have, like, I guess, the highest win rate for the most part long term. So if we're counting the entire 3 months, the momentum counter scalp is pretty profitable, but obviously there's gonna be days where you have to avoid, it just started having a big losing streak right here. So there's gonna be days where you have to avoid it, of course. Like the first week of October wasn't great, but the breakout V2, it has some back and forth, but if you do it long term, it looks like it is profitable if you continue to apply it. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, market is now open. So looking over here, we have this red candle here on open. I'll mark up opening price right there. So we got opening price right there. We currently have a sell signal. So if we get 2 red candles on open, we'll be looking for a possible opportunity for the breakout V2. As you guys can see, this candle is moving kind of crazy right here. So you want to be a little careful with entry if you are looking to take it. We'll continue to follow it and see if there's any opportunities there. Looking over here at the calendar for today, let's see, we had news at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5:30, and 7:30. So the news is kind of mixed over here for the housing permits and stuff, but I mean, we'll see. So 4:30, 5:30, let me see, 4 o'clock. So 4, 5:30, 7:30. So 4 o'clock was right there. 5:30. Is right there. And 7:30, which is coming up. 4:30, 5:30, and 7:30. All right, we got the news marked up right there. You guys can see the candles are moving pretty crazy right now, so you probably want to sit out and just kind of wait. This is like some pretty heavy movement. Market opened right here. We had a green candle that came up with the buy signal, followed by a really, really strong red candle right here. You guys can see how big this candle is, about almost 700 pips. Huge candle right there. So you guys can see a lot of wackiness going on in the market today. I thought yesterday was Wednesday, so I was calling it Wacky Wednesday. Yesterday was actually Trap Tuesday. Today is Wacky Wednesday. So you guys can see how wacky the market is right here. If there's a red candle here that closes without a sell signal, this will technically be the momentum counter scalp. If you're looking to take it, I'm not going to take the trade here. Obviously, you can see the market is moving pretty wild. It's not really worth the risk right now if price continues to just move all erratically like this. So yeah, if there's a red candle here with no sell signal, this is the momentum counter scalp. If not, then there's not going to be a counter scalp here, because it has to be the first candle that comes up. So going back to the criteria over here for the counter scalp, yeah, it's no opportunity. There's no entry. There's no opportunity on the first entry. So it would have to be this one right here. I'm not going to take this trade. Looks like it's running right now. A lot of back and forth movement right there. So the momentum counter scalp is currently running. Entry came up at 633. I'll go and mark that up over here. 10, 18, 26, 33, 4. So and full TP right there. So if anybody took the trade right there for the momentum counter scalp, it went straight to full TP. It was a really risky trade. I wouldn't have taken it, but it did hit right there if you guys did decide to take it. So momentum counter scalp just ran right there. You guys can see the crazy movement here pre-market, or not really pre-market, but on open. And there goes an entry right there for the momentum counter scalp. You know, I'm not even sure if these entries right here are valid. No, they were. Okay, so for today, first entry that came up was the momentum counter scalp, full TP right there. Next entry that we're looking for is the breakout V2. So we currently have a sell signal right here. We're now looking for the we're looking for the first. We're looking for 2 red candles. So I mean, as you guys can see, the market is not moving directional at all right now. It's going right back up. So you definitely want to be a bit careful if you guys are looking to trade right now. We currently have a sell signal here, so you need 2 red candles. If you get those 2 red candles, that's going to be the breakout V2. I forgot what the criteria was. I think that was about it. Okay. Yeah. So you're looking for 2 red candles here. If you get 2 red candles, it's going to be the breakout V2. You guys can see the volatility right now. It's very choppy. You can't really tell exactly where it's going. Here's a clean chart. Let me go and see if I can mark up some structure here. It's probably a structure above. Yeah, that's what I figured. Structure above right there, and structure below down here. Not really much in between. I'll come back and update this once the market has actually moved around a bit. But this is pretty much what the clean chart's looking like so far. We don't really have a trend here right now with regard to the high-low scalp V2. So we'll come back to this a little later. We'll have to wait for the trend to establish before we can really start to look for any entries here. So, all right, guys, if there's another red candle here, this will technically be the breakout V2 if you guys are looking to take it. Again, I'm not taking any trades right now because the market is moving very back and forth. I'm going to wait until the market stabilizes a bit and there's some direction in the market. So not looking to take this here. If it closes red, it's going to be an entry for the breakout V2. I'm going to go ahead and start looking at the overall bias for today. So retail sentiment is currently 55% short. This indicates that 55% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. However, it's not very heavy. It typically needs to be above 65%. So this is more on the neutral side. So it's more of a neutral sentiment right now. We'll just put neutral for that. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently down 70 points. They're going to be considered neutral as well because it needs to be below or above 100 points for it to have a bias. Lastly, looking over here at the technicals, short term is neutral. You can see prices in between the pivots. Long term is also neutral, prices in between the pivots. So there's not a bias today at all. There's just no bias. So today's overall bias, and this goes in hand with how market's moving right now. It's not really moving any direction. So retail sentiment is currently neutral, 55% short. Fundamental bias is currently neutral as well. We'll put -60. Short-term technicals, neutral. Long-term technicals, neutral as well. So we don't have a bias right now, guys. There's no bias. We're still looking for the breakout V2. So it looks like this was technically the intraday scalp on open. I don't think it played out. Let me see. Yeah, the intraday scalp actually came up right here. ATR was 22. I'm just going to document this. I'm not taking the trade, of course, but or I didn't take it. It's just for documentation purposes. Entry came up at 634. All right, if this closes red right here, this is going to be the breakout V2 if you guys are looking to take it. So if it closes red right there, that's going to be the breakout V2. And I put up the information for the spreadsheet over here for the intraday scalp. 634. It was for sell, loss. So there goes the spreadsheet for intraday scalp. All right, so right here is the breakout V2, guys, currently running in profit. I don't know if anybody took it. Again, I wasn't planning on taking it because of the market movement right here. There's just too much uncertainty with regard to where price is going, so I didn't really feel the urge to take it. It was also at the sessions right here, so it's not really. It's a bit of a mess. I mean, if you took 100 pips for pretty much everything that came up, it looks like you could have done perfectly fine. Yeah, because if it looks like everything is pushing at least 100 pips, if you go for anything longer, it's a little hectic because you get into these like red flags, you get into the news price, you get into the sessions. It's just really messy all over the place. Looks like Daniel here caught it for 100 pips. Nice work. Looks like William over here caught it as well. Daniel took it for a partial. Sisu caught it for 100 pips. William took it with a smaller lot size. Nice work, William. Yeah, so if you took it right there, full TP on your trade. So if you guys took the breakout V2 full TP right there, there was like slightly some drawdown, not very much. It just kind of bounced around a bit and then eventually spiked all the way down to full TP. So this is what I was saying before, guys. The breakout V2 has it's pretty good. I mean, if you're looking for like a one-to-one strategy that happens on open, this might be one that we'll follow. We'll continue following the breakout V2. We're probably going to scrap the intraday scalp, and then we'll probably scrap the momentum counter scalp. But for the most part, I think the breakout V2 is decent. It's not great, but it's decent. So 639 was the entry. I'm going to go and update the spreadsheet over here. For sell, win 250. Put some notes there. But yeah, as you guys can see over here, from the data that we've collected from August 14th up until today, October 18th, it's a 3-month sample. So 3-month sample here, it's still in profit. I mean, the win-loss ratio is not great. It's 5.32 or 55.32% win ratio, but it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Profit right here is 1,250. So if you took every single trade, even the losing trades, like just took every trade that came up from August up until October, you'd be in profit. So obviously these could have been avoided. It's a CPI news here. Crazy movement. I have all my notes right here. So there's ways to get around it. There's ways to avoid losses. But for the most part, if you took every trade, it would have been profitable. So nice work. Kenneth caught the trade too. And it looks like a lot of you guys here caught that breakout V2. So if you guys caught it, nice work. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. I didn't take the trade, so it's not counting towards any official entries for the day. You guys can see my official spreadsheet over here for my trades taken for the year. No trades for the day yet. So we'll see. I'll be looking for some. So it looks like I'll be looking for some high-low scalp V2s and some momentum pullback scalp. So let's see, we had an entry that came up right here like literally on open. So price came down, came up, came back down. Looks like this already hit TP. If anybody, yeah, this one already hit TP. So if anyone caught this one here, there was a high-low scalp V2 that came up right here at 635. You guys can see how price kind of broke the structure right there. So price broke the structure, came back up for the fake out, and came right back down. Kind of went backward, back and forth for a bit, and then it went straight down. But I wouldn't have taken it there, of course, because the pivots here were not aligned. There's no trend. Yeah, exactly. Daniel and Maddie said the pivots weren't lined up for that one. Yes, but I wouldn't have taken that one there. It looks like there might be another. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell here. Yeah, there's another one running right now, actually. I'm not in the position, of course, but I just pulled this up just now. So price broke below, pulled back up right here, and then now it's coming back down, as you guys can see over here. I'll watch and I'll see if it comes back down. But I'll have to watch it and watch it closely. See, so it came back down, it's in profit now. Currently running in profit. I want to review this entry again real quick. So price broke below right here, it pulled up right here, faked out, came back down for the retest, or not the retest, but the fill. And yeah, it looks like the trade's currently running right now in profit, or it's going back and forth. I'm watching it right here. I was gonna try to hop in late, but I wanted to watch it first for a little bit to see how it kind of moved, because the movement here is still not very smooth at all. Let's see if I get into this here. So it's currently running in profit. I don't like the movement here. The movement's kind of like, it's not very smooth. So like typically this would like go straight down already. Also, there's just no bias right now as well. Let's take a look at the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are kind of bearish now, so I can make some adjustments there for that. Let's take a look at the sentiment. Sentiment has not really changed very much. It's the same. Taking a look over here at the technicals. I mean, it looks like they're trying to shift down, but just the movement right here is just not very smooth at all. So I'm looking over here at the 30-minute, 1 hour. I mean, they're all trying to shift to the downside. So I'm watching this over here as price continues to come down lower. Look at my structures over here. Let's check the chart. Seems like the market this week's kind of been very, I don't know, back and forth and choppy. Yeah, it's currently, I mean, it was bouncing off the support right there, off the clean chart, as you guys can see here. There's just not very much of a direction here. Price is, I mean, it's going back and forth. It's bouncing between these two structures right here, which would be the resistance, and this would be the support. See, Andrew said we're near yesterday's open. William said he got into the high-low scalp V2 for a partial. He likes the scalp method a lot. Daniel said he got out, thank God. Yeah, you probably want to wait for the market to kind of stabilize a little bit. Let's see what time is it right now. It's 6:47 right now. So yeah, I mean, you guys can just see right here. It's another fake out above, and then it's coming down kind of heavy right here as price kind of bounces around. But yeah, there's not really much of a direction. You typically want to take this strategy when there's like a strong trend, right? Or if price is trending in a direction. Right now, there really isn't much of a direction here as price continues to just bounce around from where it's currently at. Let me see if there's any other structure here. I mean, there's not really any structure. Price just keeps bouncing around this area. It's like it's in a nasty range right here where it's currently, where it's sitting. And here we go as price, decides to come back down. I think do we have news for today? Let me check. I think we had news over here at like. We have news at 7:30. Watching as it bounces through here. All right, I got in for a quick little move, guys. That's probably kind of focused on my MT4. I was like, I put a pending order there, and I was like, I got to get out of this trade. This thing is not what I thought it would be. I was waiting for it to just blast through, and it did blast through, but I needed to get out of that position. I was just focusing on my chart for a second there. I mean, this will probably hit, or actually, it didn't even. It kind of got caught right there. So when it came up right here, I put my pending order there. I didn't realize it had already hit the top end right there. I'll document this as a loss, but I did take it for a small win. When it dropped right here, I pulled out, price came down. And as soon as it came down, I just pulled out. I manually pulled out of the position. It just wasn't worth the risk with, how price is moving here. So I'll document this trade here. Obviously it's not going to count as an official because I would have told you if it would have been something that I would have taken. But I kind of just followed it to the move. Price pushed up right here. It came back down, filled my order that was pending, blasted right through, then I closed it out manually. It was just too messy of a trade there. So this trade came up at 6:43. We'll wait for the next one. There's just no direction right now, so it's not really a good time to take any entries right now anyways. But everybody was talking about taking the last entry for the breakout V2, and then some people took partials here. So I just felt the urge to hop in for at least, some move there. Looks like it would have almost went to full TP, but not necessarily. So I'm going to go and just count that here as a loss, of course. I can't remember if there was entries yesterday. I don't think there was, but I mean, it's all good. So entry came up at like 6:41, I think. It was for a sell. It was a loss. So for this right here, I'll put no direction. Your trend. Maybe price spikes. Back. Damn, I should have just held on to it. I'm looking at price now. It dumped right through. It's all good. Every price spikes back and forth. First. All right, so we got that right there. I'm just going to take a screenshot of the trade that I took so that you guys are aware of where my profits came from. So let me just go over here real quick and I'll just, because what happened was I entered like right here. And I just got it for a partial. I locked in 2000, let's see, 2,240. So I basically pulled out for a partial of, say, like 150 pips. Partial TP for the. All right, so I'll take a screenshot of my accounts here. I probably got a lot of slippage on that. But it looks like the market is now starting to move a little more directional. Let me see if there's another entry here that's coming up. There might be one that's setting up right here. So we'll continue looking. Liquidity down below got hit too. So I don't know if anybody caught liquidity. It hit like on its initial touch over here. And there's another level of liquidity down below here as well. Yeah, it looks like all levels of liquidity here got hit. So still no entry there. This thing's starting to dump. But there's no entries. So, I mean, I'll continue looking at that level there, but there's still no entries right now. So you guys are not missing out on anything at the moment. All right. So here are my profits from that trade. I'll make some adjustments here. I'll just say it was 100 pips because I'm looking at my profits now, basically locked in 100 off that. All right, so this is the trade that I took earlier, guys. I took it for just a partial move right there. I didn't take it for the full move. Here are my profits. I locked in 1,110 on my funded engineer, 1,220 on my FTMO number one, 1,120 on my second FTMO, 1,120 on my third FTMO. For my 200K account, locked in 2,440. For my funded engineer account number two, locked in 550. My personal account locked in 345. My TFF locked in 966. And my second TFF locked in 966 as well. So those are my profits so far, guys. It's nothing crazy. I just locked in something partial off that last move. Good thing I locked in for partial because you guys saw how it moved right after. Anyways, let me go and start marking some levels over here for the momentum pullback scalp. So looking at this here, this candle broke past it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this candle right here breaks and closes past it, it's going to be setting up for a high-low scalp V2. If this candle doesn't break and close past it, then there's not going to be any entry for that. And we have to look for another setup. So let me go over here real quick and I'll start market levels. You guys can see the market is moving very, very erratic. I wouldn't say volatile. It's just very erratic right now. Because it's not moving smoothly, it's kind of just spiking all over the place. All right. So I don't know if anybody was able to get into the entry right here, guys. It happened too quickly. I wasn't even able to come back and look at it, but it is currently running right now in profit. I'm not in the position, so I'm obviously I don't have any stake in this right now, unfortunately. But it happened way too quickly. So yeah, it felt super quick. So right here, you guys can see the setup. We had this candle right here breaking close past the structure right there. So price came down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the fifth candle right here. Price faked out, came back down right here. It's now filled and it's running in profit. It just happened way too quickly. I wasn't able to get back in time to set it up. But if you guys did take it, it's currently running in profit. With the way that the market's moving right here, if it was me, I would pull out in profit. I would just take partials, or I would just move your stop loss in profit to guarantee profit. Because just the way the market's moving here, I don't not really too comfortable because there's no direction. This strategy is meant to be used like during very trending markets, very directional and very trending markets. Right now, it's not really trending. It's kind of just going sideways. It looks like it's trending because price is angling down, but it's not really trending. It's more so ranging, and it comes down a little bit and then it's ranging. So I'm not in this position right here. I mean, we'll continue to follow it, but just the way that the market's currently moving right now, it's not my type of market that I want to mess with. Back over here to the clean chart. Let me see if there's any more structure for me to kind of draw up over here. Yeah, it's just too messy of a market. So if you look over here on the clean chart, you can see a lot more clear that it's not really trending. I mean, it is coming down, but it's not really trending. Price will come down a little bit, push into this range, fake out, come back down, and then goes into another range right here. So it's not exactly, it looks like it's going down, which it is going down, but it's not going down smoothly. Like it's not going down like this, like how it should be, right? It's not going down like that. It's going down like this, down, So it's not really it's not ideal. It's not the ideal market conditions for you to be taking these entries in. If the market continues to range like this, then I mean, it might be better opportunity for some high level momentum scalps, right? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It's not so it's hard to really like categorize this type of direction because it's not in a big range. Yesterday, price was ranging back and forth, right? Just going back and forth. So that's good for a high level momentum scalp. Not exactly this right here because it's still moving down, but it's in a huge range as it continues to move down. So I wouldn't necessarily take anything right here right now. I'd probably just wait a little bit longer, guys. It's 7 o'clock right now, so we still have an hour till 8. Eventually the market is going to stabilize. This is, I mean, typically that's what we're looking for first and foremost. We're looking for the market to stabilize, and it just hasn't stabilized yet. It's it moved pretty crazy here on open. Price spiked up, spiked down, and it just kept spiking back and forth, you know, throughout the session. So I'm glad we didn't take this trade because I'm pretty sure we'd all be super stressed out if we were in this position right here. Because you guys can see it kind of came down, then it comes back up, then it comes back down, and here you go, it comes back down. I don't like these type of positions. I don't want to be stressed out about a position. You know, when these positions come up, I want them to just go straight down. Maybe one small retracement and then continuation, but I don't want it to do this where it just keeps going back and forth for like a good 10-20 minutes, because that's where it starts to mess with your trade psychology, right? You start to second guess the trade and you pull out early. As soon as you pull out, price just goes straight down to profit. So you just got to pick and choose your battles, guys. Like, you know, it's just like in real life, like with trading, you don't have to take every single trade. You have to pick and choose your battles. If it's a trade that you're not too confident about, you're not too sure about, you know, wait for the better option to come up. Yeah, Andrew said, I feel a big spike coming out of nowhere. I could too. Like basically like what happened right here, right? Like I wasn't expecting this big spike to come down, or even right here, price spiked up and then it spiked right back down right there. So, and there we go, as price starts to come back down. Yep, there goes the spike you're talking about, Andrew. Full TP. So if you guys took it full TP, I didn't take the trade, so obviously it's not going to count as an official entry, but I will mark it up in the spreadsheet. So 656 entry came up. 2 entries for today. So this was a win, 300. I was putting some notes there. All right, so there goes basically it just balanced out the loss from earlier. So yeah, I mean, it's still doing fine. So there goes another entry right there for the high-low scalp V2. If you guys took it, great work. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. I didn't take it either. I didn't feel comfortable with it. But you guys can see, like, even if the market is moving a bit crazy, the strategy still works. It just depends on like how much can your trade psychology handle, right? Because your trade psychology is going to get burnt through. You're going to get burnt out if you're taking these types of trades a lot. You're going to be stressed out the whole time, not really sure what's going to happen next. I mean, I personally don't even know what's going to happen next, because looking over here, you guys can see it's a pattern that just keeps repeating itself. Price comes down, and then it kind of fakes out around this range, comes back below, fakes out within the range, and then it comes right back down. So you can see there's a lot of fake outs here. Price comes up, fake out. Price comes back down, fake out, comes back down further. And I wouldn't be surprised if it creates another range down here, right? So what we might be able to see here next is price might just break down here and then continue ranging. And then it'll just continue to follow through. So we'll keep following it. When there's new levels that are created, I will create a new zone down below, but I'm hold off on it for right now. All right, we have a pending sell signal right here. Once the sell signal closes, we'll look for price to continue dropping and then look for a possible entry for a momentum pullback scalp. All right, so we have the sell signal right here, guys. We're just looking for price to come back below. So if you're looking to take the momentum pullback scalp, we currently have a trend here, which is bearish. You can see prices below the pivots. The red pivot, which is level 4, is above all the other pivots. Price is slightly kind of going back and forth, like we mentioned earlier. But we do have a sell signal here. So what we need in order for us to take an entry here, if a buy signal comes up, we're not going to have entry. But if price comes back down here, then we'll be able to look for an entry as price comes down, retraces, and continues to drop from there. If we get something like that, then we'll be able to take entry right there for a momentum pullback scalp. But again, we need price to be down here below the signal. So if we get a buy signal there, it's just going to reset it, which is fine. We'll just wait for that. And this market is, I feel like this market is a lot more tricky than, the previous weeks that we had, because typically the weeks kind of just, they kind of run the same, like the same patterns run like during the week. I feel like this week's been kind of like all over the place. Monday was a good day. Yesterday was very slow. And today there's a lot, yesterday was a big range, and now price is moving directional, but there's a lot of consolidation. So there's still a range happening, but there's a lot more consolidation here. As you guys can see, like yesterday, the range was kind of going back and forth between a big range, which was fine because you can apply the high-low momentum scalp there. Right here, price is moving directional, but there's a lot of consolidation. So like price will come down a little bit, consolidate. It'll come down further, consolidate. Come down further, consolidate. There's not, it's not really there's not really much, as much as it looks like there's a direction, there's not really much of a direction. And you guys can see there's a lot of price spikes, like this huge green candle right here. I don't even know where this stuff is coming from. Let's see, there's no breaking news right now. I don't think anybody's announcing anything. Let me check. There's no Fed speakers right now. There's just a lot of uncertainty in the market. Like, if there was a Fed speaker speaking right now, it would make more sense because something's going on. Yeah, there's nothing here specific for us to really tie the crazy movement to, because this is pretty crazy movement. If you guys look at these candles right here, like this green candle right here, I don't know like what's causing this to push up like that. I know Biden is in Tel Aviv. He's like in Israel right now, or maybe he's having a speech. I don't know. I saw some snippets from a speech that he had yesterday regarding the bombing of the hospital in Gaza. But I don't know if he's talking about anything else specific. But yeah, you guys can see here that there's just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we have no control over. I feel like this right here, these are definitely not retail traders who are screwing with the market. Because if you look over here at the sentiment hasn't really changed very much. It changed maybe 1%. There's no retail traders that are really like, a lot of them are kind of just sitting out. You can see it's half and half, right? It's half long, half short. There's actually not too many retail traders in the market right now because it's not changing very much. A lot of this right here is just institutions, and they're kind of just fighting over price right now, it looks like. Because these are big spikes. If you measure this candle right here, like in order for price to really move this heavily with one candle, it needs to, there has to be a lot of money behind it. So, you know, these little like 10-point moves are fine. This is like normal movement. But to get like one huge candle like this right here, there's something that's pushing it. Like an institution, or I mean, whatever it may be, that there's just something behind the scenes that's really pushing price back and forth. And the thing that's crazy about this is that, like, you know, these hedge funds and institutions, they're like pushing like a lot of money in here, and then price just comes back down. Like, imagine if you were like a hedge fund and you pushed like, you know, a couple $1,000,000 into this little big green candle over here, and then the other hedge funds are like, no, we're just gonna we're not pushing trade the price in that direction. It comes right back down, right? Because a lot of these little candles, like you guys can see these directional moves right here, these little candles right here, these aren't really like, they're not getting pushed. This is just the flow of market's just flowing, right? It's just flowing up, it's flowing down, it's flowing up. And then you get these big candles right here. These are big orders that are getting put in by these institutions. So like whenever these institutions put them in, it's like they push them down, and then another institution's like, nope, we're going to push it back up. And then other institutions team up with each other, like, no, we're going to keep pushing this down. And they send it right back down. And they're kind of just fighting over price here. You know, there's just so much stuff that's happening behind the scenes that we just have no control over. So in a situation like this, I would personally just sit out of the market. You don't want to get into their like their money fights right here. Like when the institutions are fighting over price and they're pushing it up or they're pushing it right back down, you don't want to be caught in that crossfire. You want to just wait for them to be done kind of fighting over price. And then once the normal flow of price continues to, you know, move direction like this right here, right? Like as price comes back down, if it comes back to this area and it just continues to flow, then at that point you would just ride that wave. That's why the main thing I'm always telling you guys when we're looking for entries is we're looking for the trend to really confirm. Once it confirms, then okay, great, we're going to start looking for some actual entries there. But if it doesn't confirm, then we're just going to continue to wait. Because like, yeah, you don't want to get caught in this mess here. Like, for example, price came back and filled this big green candle, right? So an institution probably pushed price up, and then the other institutions were like, no, we're going to push price back down. Now that they push price back down, we'll see who's in control now. Like who's in control? This company that pushed it up, are they going to push it right back up? Or these other companies are like, no, we're going to let it fall back down, right? So yeah, not all institutions are in sync. I mean, obviously the big names are in sync, but not all of them. So like you're going to have smaller hedge funds, you're going to have smaller investment groups that are like pushing price in a direction that they kind of want to set the tone. And these bigger banks are obviously in control. So if they don't agree with it, they'll push price right back down. Yeah, so CSUK said Morgan Stanley and State Street just came out with their earnings, which was positive. And Goldman Sachs announced a good sized loss. Yeah, I mean, it looks like people were like, probably pushing. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, when those news events were released, people probably tried to piggyback on the rides, but I don't think it was really much of a retail piggyback because the numbers here didn't really change very much, change 1%. Alan said the president's speaking right now. Thanks, Alan, for the heads up. I didn't realize he was speaking right now. So it looks like here, I'm going to look it up real quick. Just going to look up Biden live. All right, so Biden is speaking right now. All right, I know what you're going to say. I got to get YouTube Premium. I know I should. I'm just not on this computer as much. Anyways, he's speaking right now. Okay, so this is probably what's igniting the crazy movement in the market. So yeah, I'd probably be a little careful, guys, of taking any of these entries right here. Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, here's the hey, it's currently live, right? Yeah, it's live. So as you guys can see here, it shows that the US is siding with Israel. So as this war continues on, Biden basically said that he's going to move our troops into Israel and basically start World War III. That's kind of what's happening here. So yeah, the market's probably going to move a little crazy. Yeah, we'll come back and look at this. Let me just put this over here. We'll come back and take a look at that a little later. And we don't really need to worry about it too much. We just have to understand that Biden is speaking right now, and he could say anything that can really affect the market. So it looks like he's siding with Israel, which was expected. And that's probably what's causing price to continue dropping. So it looks like, these institutions are trying to push price back up because they're probably in some long positions. They probably have some long-term long positions, and then they decided to hold on to it. So if you look on the higher time frame, so let's look on something like, say, the 4 hour, right? If you look over here on the 4 hour, price is still bullish. So a lot of these institutions, they trade on the higher time frames. They don't really trade on these lower time frames like us. So it's pretty mixed if you ask me. So let me look over here real quick. Let's go to the clean chart. Clean chart is actually easier to look at. So looking at the clean chart over here, if we go on so let's go on the weekly. On the weekly, price is just going sideways. There's no direction. You look over here on the daily, price is kind of ranging right here as well. Going down to the 4 hour price. I mean, it's ranging on pretty much all time frames. It seems like a lot of these hedge funds and institutions are kind of just waiting as well to see what happens with this war, because as you guys know, the war is not going to, as the war continues, things are not going to get any better. It's just going to keep getting worse. So at some point, the US is going to have to intervene, right? And I think that's kind of what's happening here. The US is starting to intervene, and that's what Biden's here looking to address. So if that becomes the case, then the market could easily go down. So just keep that in mind. So if you, again, like I was looking over here on the higher time frames, so you can see how price is kind of consolidating right here. This is on the 4 hour time frame. Price is consolidating around this area. If it comes back down, it'll probably correct it to this area down here. There's a whole area down here where price can continue dropping from. This wasn't even that far ago. This was like from earlier this month. So I think this is when the war started. The war started right here around like October, right? Early October. When the war started, price started dropping super heavily. Then a correction happened. And if Biden agrees, if he agrees to intervene in the war, price is probably gonna come back lower. Because war is not good for the economy. It's good for the weapon stocks. Like if you guys are trading stocks and stuff and you're buying select weapon stocks or like arms stocks or something that has to do with the war, it's good. But overall, it's not good for the economy because a lot of people get scared when war happens, right? They don't know if the war is going to happen, is going to come over here to the US, or something crazy is going to happen here. So you guys can see there's a big gap here. So it's currently consolidating, but price can easily just come right back down. There's just an area here. So like whenever there's an area that's been touched, like this is an area that it's been at before, price can come back to that area. It's not a new area. It's just that that's very likely that price can come back to that point. Anyways, it doesn't matter for us guys because we're scalping, so we don't really care where price is going long term. But that's just the background as to like what to look out for in case you are looking for, or if you're kind of wondering, why is price dropping? So anyways, there's not really much here for us it doesn't affect us too much because we're only trading for about an hour a day. So as long as the market's volatile, we'll be able to look for some entries. There's no confirmation of trend yet, so don't worry, you guys have not missed any entries here. Closest level down below is going to be right there. And there's just, there's just not really much here for us to look at because we need a trend for us to take this trade. And price needs to come back below. So price has not come back below yet. The trend is still bearish, as you guys can see. The red pivot's still above all the other pivots. Same with the momentum pullback scalp over here. We can't really take any entries until price comes back down. We had a sell signal right here. Price never came below. We had a sell signal right here. Price never came below. The trend is still bearish. So kind of what we're looking for right now. So if you guys took any of the liquidity pushes, looks like all of them hit. Pretty much all levels down below here got hit. They all went to full TP. I didn't take any of them. I'm not really comfortable taking them standalone. I like using them as a confluence, but not exactly standalone. Back to the clean chart. As you guys can see, price is starting to climb its way back up. I'm not sure. I think Biden might be done. Never mind, he's still talking. I'm not even sure how long he's been talking for, but I'm pretty sure he's been talking for quite a bit. So he's probably going to be done soon. You can see this huge spike in price right here as price pushes back up to opening price. So if price continues to climb, target price point is going to be opening price right there. I guess Biden probably said something good for the economy and it kind of just pushed price up. But there is a lot of structure here to kind of be careful for. All right, so we'll see what happens when price gets near the opening price right here. I mean, price can just get near and then come right back down. So this might be the fake out and price might come all the way back down. There's no confirmation of a shift in trend yet, so there's no trend here for us to look at the moment. But if price does come up, I'll mark up that level right there just in case. We can't use this level yet because there's no confirmation of trend. So there's a level right here where price broke past it, but the trend right here has not confirmed yet. So I'm not going to take that. It's just too risky, obviously. Yeah, Shannon said no entries for her yet, waiting for that drop. Yeah, this could be a fake out. You got close to opening price, fake out, come right back down. Might come back and retest the structure right here. So there's not really much going on here. I mean, price is coming back down, but the trend still hasn't confirmed yet. So we don't really have a trend here, whether it's bullish or bearish. It's 7:21 right now, so we still have about like 40 minutes till 8. So we have a lot of time, guys. I'll continue looking here, but we'll see. I mean, the ATR is pretty high, but it's only high because we have these big, huge candles that come up out of nowhere. So the ATR is currently 25 right now. That's because of this big candle right here. This big candle was like over 500 pips. And we'll see as price decides to make its way to come back down. As we do that, I'm going to go ahead and start taking screenshots of my individual profits. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to hang on for a while. I'm still going to be on for a bit. So, but if there's any questions that you guys have, like right now, like any quick questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Engineer, TMO. I just realized I didn't even take a look at everybody's profits. So if you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. I'm taking screenshots of my own profits, and we'll take a look at all of those as we wait for the market to do something. As you guys can see right here, we're not missing out on anything. There's like literally nothing going on right now. So yeah, don't worry if you guys don't feel like you're missing out on anything, because there's like literally nothing going on as we wait for this to continue. All right, so still not so much going on. I'm gonna go and start posting up my profits for the day so far. Okay, so let's take a look at everybody's profits real quick. So looking over here, we have Gian, total profit of 980 for the day. Nice work right there, Gian. Full TP on that first trade. We got Natasha here, total profit 105 for the day, all wins as well. We got David over here, total profit of 30.41 for the day. Nice work, David. Full TP on that as well. And now let me put up my profits for the day. So let's see. Here is my first account. This is my funded engineer. I locked in 1,110. Here is my first FTMO account. Locked in 1,220. My second FTMO account over here. Total profit of 1,120. My third account. Total profit of 1,120 as well. This is my 200K account. Locking the total profit of 2,440. Here is my second funded engineer account. Locking the total profit of 550. Here's my personal account. Locked in 357. Here is my TFF number 1. Locked in 1,000. And then my second TFF account over here, same thing. Locking a total profit of 1,000. So those are all my profits so far. There's still no confirmation of direction yet, guys. I mean, price did come down a little bit, so hopefully we get some more direction as price continues to move along for the day. But there's just no entries for us right now. We need price to, if price decides to come back down further, we need a confirmation of a bearish trend. Until then, we actually have a bullish trend right now. That's currently, I mean, it's more of a neutral, but it is bullish because price, well, right now price is below, but the red pivot is below. So if price continues to drop lower, it will probably become bearish. If price decides to swing right back up, then we might have a bullish trend, because it's currently bullish with regard to the pivots, but it's more of a on the neutral side because price is actually not above the pivots right now. Looking over here, we have Surin. Nice. So Surin over here took a couple of trades, total profit of 729 for the day, all wins. Nice work right there, Surin. Yeah, no problem. Glad to see that you're locking in profits right there. So we got Surin's profits right there. Thanks for the link, Kenny. I just saw your post right now. We have Andreas over here. Total profit of 970 for the day, all wins. Nice work right there. Andreas, let me put this over here real quick. So nice work right there, Andreas. Full TP of 970 for the day. Let's look for Andreas real quick. It's good. All right, price is starting to drop right here. We don't have a confirmation of trend yet, so main thing to look at here would be the pivots. So as you can see, price is coming right back down, just like we discussed earlier when Biden was speaking. All right, so we're just looking for the trend here to confirm. Has not confirmed yet, but it should confirm shortly if price continues to drop. So we got some more profits over here from Adu. Full TPs on both of his trades, total profit of 1,435 for the day. Nice work, Adu. Yeah, solid profits right there. All right, so price broke below the structure right here. We do have the bearish trend, so I guess the first level for us to look at would be right here. We might be able to use both of these. And we also have news right here at 7 o'clock. So just be careful, guys. This is news right here. Mark that up. So you had 7 o'clock news right here, like pull it up. I think it's just gas stocks. So Biden's done speaking. Gas stocks came up. They were kind of negative. There's one that was positive, the rest was negative. But yeah, there's a lot of I mean, this movement right here is based off the news that just came out. So just be a little careful with your entries, guys. 7:30. All right, so looking at this right here, I was trying to look at this entry right here. It looks like there's a momentum pullback scalp entry that came up, but it was right at news, so I wouldn't have taken it. The entry would have happened right here though. And it looks like it already hit TP. I don't know if anybody was even looking at this, but there was a momentum pullback scalp that set up right here, but price was overextended. And then also there was news at that 7:30 candle. So I probably wouldn't have messed with it if you guys were looking to take it. But the entry did come up right there and it was super quick. I totally forgot there was news at 7:30. Okay, so we have a possible opportunity right here, guys. If price decides to come back down, there is a possibility of entry right there. The only problem here is that news just came up, so you might want to be a little careful with entry because, or if you want to go for it, I mean, maybe go for a smaller TP because this movement here can be based off the news. So I'm not really going to take anything right now. I'm going to wait until after the news. So the news happened right here at 7:30. I'm going to wait like maybe about 5 minutes. I'll let this kind of just bounce around a bit. And then if it comes back down, then I'll make a late entry. But I don't want to trade off the news because there was like a lot of news events that came out right here. It was media impact news for stock oil change, just basically a lot of oil news right here that came out. And the oil news does affect US30. So I wouldn't really want to mess with it right now at the moment. So I'll watch it. The trade is currently running right now, right here. I'll continue to watch it. I'll wait until about 7:35 until looking for entry. But yeah, it's just too risky. In my opinion, I think it's risky because the news just happened right there. Price didn't really react to the news yet. So a lot can happen from now until, I don't know, the next couple of minutes or so. That's the downside about trading during New York sessions because there's so many news events, right? Yeah, there's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nine oil news events right here that came out at 7:30. So we'll see. Well, I mean, if you guys are in the position, it's currently running in profit. I'm not in this one yet, though. All right, so I'll look for another opportunity right here as well for the momentum pullback scalp. I don't know if I would really count this one. I'd probably look for the next one to come up. So if this pulls up right here, short position to be right there at the 0, 0 mark. All right, high-low scalp V2 is currently running in profit. Just gonna clear my emails here, man. Whenever I take a trade on my copier, I get like 10 emails. So I just have to go and delete them. All right, that's good. All right. I mean, we're still waiting for this here. I mean, if you guys are in the position, it's pretty nice in profit. I don't know if anybody is in it. If you're in it right now, I'd probably move your stop loss in profit, or if you're happy with your profits, I just pull out. We might have to make some adjustments to the TP stop loss, guys, for the strategy, because I think 300 pips might be a little too far out for the type of market that we're currently in. Like, I thought we'd have higher volatility by now, but the volatility has not really picked up for fall season. I mean, it picks up, like, you're gonna have time, like some periods of time where volatility will be pretty decent, but it's not very consistent. Typically, it's very volatile from like 6:30 up until 8. But you guys can see here that it's kind of flat. Looks like C-Suk here took it for 150 pips. Maria took a partial as well. Randy pulled out already, partial profit. Yeah, if you guys are happy with your profits, I would just take it, guys, because you're already in profit like 150 pips right there or so. Or if you just want to be careful, because the thing is, I would move my stop loss in profit, but since there's not very much movement here, I feel like it'd be kind of a waste, right? Because price might just come up and then stop you out and then come back right back into profit. So there we go. As it pushes down, just as I said that, it comes down and it goes right to full TP almost. Yeah, Andreas said I didn't mess with it. It was too near at news. Yeah, exactly, Andreas. That's exactly why I didn't take it as well. The news happened right here at 7:30, and it just happened too quickly. I didn't want to take that risk because price would have to react to the news, and it hasn't reacted to the news yet. So, and this might be the reaction to the news. You guys can see right here, our price kind of spiked down a little bit. It was just a late reaction to the news. The news was negative, so no surprise there. But I just don't want to get caught in the mess. Yes, you made a smart decision, Andreas. I thought the same exact thing. All right, so the pullback never filled, guys. It would have been a nice entry right there if it did pull back to the 100 mark right there and then brought back down, but no entry there for the pullback. And this high-low scalp is running for a long time. Again, guys, if you guys are happy with your profits, I would personally just pull out, or I would move your stop loss as close as possible. So I move your stop loss in profit, and then I move it to like maybe the top wick of this candle right here. Or if you're happy with your profits, I just pull out and take all you can get right now. Because yeah, this trade's been running for a while. Let's see, it's been running for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles in. So if you move your stop loss in profit, you pretty much would have guaranteed that right now, and you could probably ride it to the full TP. You just got to be smart about your decisions here, guys. Like, you know, this could make or break your trading day. So if you move your stop loss in profit, at least you're guaranteed, and this can never, it's impossible to break your trading day because you already made profit on it, right? Or if you're happy with your profits, you locked out right here, or pulled out right here at like 25. For me personally, I would have pulled out around here, like on 200, I've been out already. Or if you're holding on longer, 25 would be nicer, of course. It's an extra 5 points. Either way, I think it'll hit, but you know, my trade psychology has been kind of screwed for the past couple of days. If you guys have noticed, I've been taking a lot of FOMO trades. I think on Monday I took a couple of FOMO trades. Today I took a FOMO trade. My trade psychology just isn't there because the market isn't moving very smoothly. It's there you go, full TP. So if you guys held this to the full TP, I'll put this in our spreadsheet again. So 2 back-to-back wins for the high-low scalp V2 today. There was 1 loss in the beginning, but it wasn't really a loss that should have been taken because the you know, the things haven't been established yet. But here we go with another win over here for the high-low scalp V2, 732. I'm like thinking in my head, like I should have put a pending order there, but no, I know my trade psychology is like screwed up right now. I'm kind of in a FOMO mindset because there's a lot of trades that come up, but a lot of red flags as well. It's just not a great trading week this week. I think also because I'm on a winning streak right now, so I don't want to take any bad trades. So you can see over here, I'm currently, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 or 13 because I took the one today too. Oops. Yeah, I just screwed up my spreadsheet. Okay, let me just copy this over real quick. Let's change the date. This is the one thing I don't like about Google Sheets too much is because there's always like glitches in the system. But anyways, I took one trade today. And I only took it for a partial. So let's put that there for partial. All right, so yeah, you guys can see over here that I'm on a pretty good winning streak for the month so far. So I'm a little more careful. This week hasn't been too good to me because I've been getting some FOMO. A lot of the trades today, I mean, for this whole week from Monday and today, they're pretty much FOMO trades. So I'm being a little more careful. I'm just trying to get back to proper mindset so that I can take proper trades. But just the way that the market's moving, I just don't feel too comfortable with the entries here. So, I mean, it's all good. I made profit for the day. It looks like a lot of you guys here did too. If you guys have profit to post up, feel free to send them in. We got Maddie over here. Yeah, so Maddie over here said, need to be transparent. He made a mistake on NASDAQ. He took the, gotcha, okay. Yeah, so Maddie was trading NASDAQ over here. He took a loss and then he took US30, the trade that we just for today, and he locked 930. So nice work right there, Maddie. Yeah, that's good. You know, you just gotta be transparent. Like Maddie said, he has to be transparent. He made a mistake on NQ, and then he made it right back up for US30 over here, or YM. I think that's the only way people will get better, guys. So if you got, and there was another entry that came up right here, but I didn't really plan on taking that either because it overlapped with the other entry. I don't know if anybody looked at this one right here. His price came down, pulled down below, pulled back up. There was another entry that came up right there. It's still running in profit. There's two levels right here. I don't know if anybody saw that because we had one that was currently running and then this one over here came through and now it's currently running at the moment. And it got right next to liquidity right there too. I don't know if anybody got the liquidity. Yeah, so the first level of liquidity right there got hit. I think the other one's still technically running right now. Good thing I didn't fall into this position. I need some drawdown. Yeah, I'm just having some self-control right now, guys. I almost followed into this position here. When I saw it come back to opening price right here, I was thinking about maybe entering it late, but I'm not going to. I just gotta have some self-control because I already know right now in my mindset, I'm currently in a FOMO mindset. I kind of want to hop into these trades, but I also don't because I know it's not the right decision for me to hop into it. So we'll continue following this here. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. It's 7:43 right now, so there's only so much time from now until 8 o'clock. There was another momentum pullback scalp that came up right here. I don't know if anybody else caught this either. There's just a lot of entries that are now coming up very last minute that I'm just barely seeing. So there was another entry that came up right here. Price came below. This candle right here retraced up. Entry would have happened right here at the 80 mark. So it would have filled right here on this red candle and it would have went straight to TP. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get one more entry before the end of the session. Right here for a momentum pullback scalp. So if we get another sell signal here, it'll set up for a momentum pullback scalp. So as you can see, prices are retracing up. This is the retracement momentum signal. Price retraces up. We get a sell signal. Price comes back down. Retraces up. And comes back down for entry right there. So that's kind of what we're looking for and looking at right there. The trade over here is still running for the high-low scalp V2. Not in any of the positions right now. It's watching. I gotta control myself. I'm like looking at my MC4. I'm like looking if I can get any like for a late entry, but I probably shouldn't. So I'm not going to. I'm going to continue watching it, but I'm not going to hop into the position. This might be a good time to call it a day because I'm starting to feel a lot of FOMO right now, and I'm really glad I didn't hop into it because you can see over here. This would be a horrible position to be in right now. Even if you got in for a discount, it'd be a bad area to be in right now. So kind of glad I'm having some self-control right now, not hopping into these trades. But yeah, if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm probably gonna get off in like the next 5 minutes or so before I start to get some FOMO and hop into this trade here that I know I shouldn't be in. The thing is, like, I think this here will come back down, but I think what might happen here is this might fake out first and then come back down. The other thing about this entry here that I didn't like was that it overlapped with the other one because the other one was running right here. So there's like technically no way you could have entered this trade without this one first hitting, right? Because this one hit and then this one pretty much overlapped it right here. And I mentioned from the beginning that I don't take trades that overlap, only take one at a time. So I'm super glad I didn't hop into this trade right here because obviously you can see that it wasn't a good trade. So I might have to add that to the criteria here. Don't enter trades that overlap, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory because if we were in this position already, we wouldn't be able to even identify this one because it would be focused on this first one above. So yeah, I mean, that was some pretty good self-control on my end, I think. I'm glad I didn't hop into it. And you can see right here, look where it's going. It's coming right back down. So this is exactly what I mentioned earlier, right? I was saying that price might come back down from where it's currently at now, and then it's going to drop down further from where it is, and then maybe drop from there. So the fake out that I was mentioning earlier kind of played through, and then now it's kind of coming back down. It's just the same pattern. The same patterns just keep repeating themselves. You know, it's nothing new here. It's something that just continues to happen over and over again. So there's no momentum pullback scalps here. You need a sell signal in order for us to get that, which we don't have right now, of course. Price is coming back down from where it's at. We need a sell signal here in order for us to have that momentum pullback scalp. But again, just watching as this here plays through. Yeah, exactly. C6 and self-assessment is key. William said it's very powerful what Sean is saying right now. To hear him address FOMO should be an eye-opener for everyone. Let's see where this, I'm looking for that sell signal to come up right here. So the sell signal did come up right there. And I'm not going to lie, I FOMO'd into a position. So I need to get off this live session, guys. I FOMO'd into it right here. That's why I was looking at my chart so much, because I saw this come down and my analysis that I was mentioning earlier played through, and I took that trade and I got some profit on it. I made 1,140. That's my cue to get off this live session. You guys can see how strong FOMO is. FOMO is like even for myself, I've been trading for so long. I'm like even telling you guys not to FOMO into the position, and I still FOMO into it myself. So I think this is my cue to wrap it up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take an updated screenshot of my profits, and then I'm just going to wrap it up, guys. This is not the market for me to be in right now. I made a profit on it, but it's a position that I shouldn't have been in. So you guys can see here that it doesn't matter how long you've been trading for, FOMO will still take control no matter what. So if you guys have FOMO and you guys know you guys are making mistakes, don't like beat yourself up too much for it, because the thing is, I just made a mistake right here. I made profit on it, thankfully, but you know, it could have ended badly if it didn't. continue dropping from where it was. So if you guys are wondering where I made my entry from, made a small entry from right here. I was going to try to get into this like as a late entry. I'm just so stuck on this position here. And then when it pulled down, I just pulled out because I already knew that I shouldn't have been in that position. So it came down, filled my order, went straight down. I pulled out right here for maybe like 100 pips or so. I got some slippage, of course, because of the spread's kind of wide. And I mean, that's pretty much it. So I'll just take the screenshot of my accounts and then we'll wrap this up for the day, guys. The only reason I was so inclined to take this trade was because, like I mentioned earlier, I said this is probably going to fake out like it did right here, and then it's going to come right back down. And that's exactly what happened, right? So my analysis played through, and that's why I hopped into the position. Probably could have held on to it for a little longer, but rather be safe than sorry. So anyways, here is my profits. As you guys can see over here, I locked in a little more. Not a crazy amount, but I locked in a little more. So here's my thing right here. And I'll take my individual screenshots so it's easier to see. Looks like Shannon took it too. So Shannon said she got some too, locked in 588, split between 4 accounts on the push. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Sean. Definitely, Shannon. We'll see you back here tomorrow. But yeah, you know, just what I've been telling you guys here, like FOMO is a real thing, guys. So if you guys have a problem with FOMO, don't worry about it. I have a problem with FOMO too. The only thing is that I'm a little better at controlling it compared to a lot of other people, because I just have more experience in the market, of course. So usually when I do FOMO into a position, it's not like some random trade. I know a lot of you guys, when you guys FOMO into a position, you kind of just enter into something. Damn, look at this thing dump crazy right there. It did pretty much my analysis play through. So whenever I do FOMO into a position, I'm usually FOMOing because there's a reason behind it. I'm not just taking, you know, a random trade. I'm FOMOing into it because I know that trade is probably going to play through. So whenever I do take a trade, it's not necessarily just a random trade. I'm following a position that I knew was going to fake out, and then it played through like it was supposed to. All right, when it comes to this, second funded engineer. Personal account. TFF. All right, my TFF's got me some slippage here. First account right there. And the second account. Right there. All right, so let me just update this real quick. And we will be on our way. Looks like my FTMO is kind of balanced out. Okay, so let's take a look at the team profits real quick. So we got Nathan over here. Nathan said it took some L's today. Liquidity pulled all the way back. So he locked in some profit and then he took that loss at the end. It's all good. It happens. But the thing here is that you kind of like offset it. So it's not too bad. It's not a full on loss. So it's all good, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan said, damn, liquidity hit after he took that L on the first touch. Yeah, so Nathan over here took the, oh, he took the red level. That's why. Yeah, he took that red level. So Nathan, unfortunately, he took the level right there. He took the second level. It came up, hit a stop loss, and then went straight down to full TP. It's a huge fake out right there. It kind of played out like how I was anticipating, and it came back for that second retest of it. You know, the thing is, like with this high-low scalp V2, it's kind of similar to like the retest of the liquidity here, right? It's kind of the same thing. It's just different. So like for this, we're looking for the closes, and for this, you're just looking for the touches. So it's very similar in a sense. There's a pullback right here too. I didn't even see it. Yeah, so there's a pullback right here that came through. I don't know if anybody caught it. Maddie caught it for a full TP. Nice work right there, Maddie. And I think that's about it. So let me go ahead and just transfer my profits over real quick to the Discord. So here's my funded engineer account. I took that second trade, total profit of 1,320. That's the funded engineer number one. Here's my FTMO. I locked in 1,440. FTMO one. Second FTMO 1,440 as well. Third FTMO, same thing, 1,440. This is my 200K count locked in 3,580. Here is my funded engineer number two count locked in 650. Here is my personal account locked in 474. Here is my TFF. I locked in 1,332 on the first account. And then on my second TFF, I locked in a little less, locked in 1,232. So $100 less on my second TFF account. So yeah, those are my profits across all my accounts. You guys can see right here to include the second trade that I took. We got some more team profits here from Maddie, total profit of 1,140 per account. So that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 8,800 for the day on Maddie's accounts. So nice work right there, Maddie. All right, guys. So I think that's about it for today. Maddie took the momentum pullback scalp right here. So nice work right there, Maddie, on catching that. But I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com. Or you guys can message me on Discord at Kodi Kai Trades. This is probably the fastest way to get in touch with me. Just message me on Discord because I'm on this like all day. But that's about it, man. So there's some crazy market movements today. As you guys can see over here from the clean chart. Market still has not necessarily moved directional yet. I mean, it's moving directional right now, but it was kind of choppy for a bit, and then this can fake out again. So if you guys do decide to trade, I recommend not trading. But if you do decide to trade, just make sure that you guys are looking out for direction, market structure, and trend. Because and also the Fed's speaking today too. So I don't even think anybody should be trading. Yeah, the Fed's going to speak right now at 9 o'clock. So in about an hour, Fed Waller is going to speak. Right after that, Fed Williams is going to speak. Right after that, Fed Bowman's going to speak. After that, Fed Harker is going to speak. There's a Fed speaking pretty much every hour. So I would probably just not trade for the rest of the session if you don't need to. And then just come back tomorrow fresh. Tomorrow, we have some high impact news, initial job claims, jobless claims. Fed's going to speak at 6, existing home sales at 7. We got a lot of news tomorrow. So we'll see. Hopefully that creates some volatility in the market, and we'll be able to use that to our advantage. So, all right, guys, other than that, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise,